Frank and the Fairy. Frank was the son of a poor village carpenter. Every day, Frank went with his father to the forest to cut trees. One day, tired after a long day at work, Frank sat down on a log to take some rest. Suddenly, he heard a cry, "Help me, please!" He stood up with a jerk and looked about, but there was no one there. "Please help!" Frank heard the voice again. This time Frank peered in through the hole in the log and saw a tiny fairy inside. She was wearing a sparkling pink dress, had beautiful white wings, and wore a gold hairband around her bun. "Oh, she's gorgeous," thought Frank. "Please take me out of here," she cried again. Frank at once put his hand inside the hole and picked up the fairy. The fairy thanked Frank, saying, "Many years ago, a wicked witch had cursed me, and since then I have been trapped in this log. Thank you for saving me. What can I do for you?" Frank composed himself and said, "I belong to a very poor family, and with the money that my father and I earn, we do not even get two proper meals a day. So please make my father rich." The fairy's eyes welled up with tears as she heard about Frank's plight. "Boom, room, zoom," said the fairy, waving her wand, and suddenly disappeared. "Where did you go, fairy?" cried Frank anxiously. But alas, the fairy had left. That evening, even Frank and his father returned home. There stood a palatial house with big iron gates instead of their thatched hut. "Where did our hut go?" cried Frank's father in disbelief. "They walked in through the gates and were greeted like kings by the servants." Suddenly, Frank's mother came running, hugged him, and said, "God has answered our prayers." Frank looked up at the sky and imagined the fairy to be among the sparkling stars. He closed his eyes and said, "Thank you, dear fairy." Night, night, good night.